Hey guys, I'm trying to bust through a bunch of videos. I'm really not wearing the same outfit for like days in a row, I promise. All right, so here we are again. 1 Samuel chapter 5. It says the ark in Ashdod and Ekron. I looked into Ichabod a little bit, and all it said was he was kind of mentioned a little bit later as someone's nephew or something like that. But just based off of what biblical scholars could find was that most likely he ended up being a priest, and it seemed like he wasn't a butthead priest like his dad was. So I don't know. Hopefully things turned around for him. So maybe he took a name that he was given, right? No glory, and turned it into something else. Made something good out of it, which is pretty inspiring if that is a true story, because you are not a product of your past, right? You are a product of what God has made you to be. It has nothing to do with where you came from or what you've been through. All right, so 1 Samuel chapter 5, it says, after the Philistines had captured the ark of God, they took it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Then they carried the ark into Dagon's temple and set it beside Dagon. Now, if you have an ark of God, and you set it next to a false god's little temple statue thing, buckle up, because God is gonna take you for a ride. Okay? So funny things start to happen. And I know God's not trying to be humorous. God's trying to show the Philistines that God is a real God and Dagon is nothing, right? But it's just kind of funny how he does it. Okay. So they put him in Dagon's temple and set it beside Dagon, like that actual statue in there, right? When the people of Ashdod rose early the next day, there was Dagon fallen on his face on the ground before the ark of the Lord. They took Dagon and put him back in his place. But the following morning when they rose, there was Dagon fallen on his face on the ground before the ark of the Lord. His head and hands had been broken off and were lying on the threshold. Only his body remained. That is why to this day neither the priests of Dagon nor any others who enter Dagon's temple at Ashdod step on the threshold. Right? Because that's where his like whatever body broke. Isn't that funny? Like they kept putting it back and then God just kept smacking it down, right? The Lord's hand was heavy on the people of Ashdod and its vicinity. He brought devastation on them and afflicted them with tumors. When the people of Ashdod saw what was happening, they said, the ark of the God of Israel must not stay here with us, because his hand is heavy on us and on Dagon, our God. Now, if God is afflicting them with tumors, that means they're most likely not so internal that you can't see them. They're probably ones that are like on the skin, right? Where you can literally see them everywhere on the people. That's probably why they're starting to freak out. So I'm on verse 8. So they called together all the rulers of the Philistines and asked them, what shall we do with the ark of God, the God of Israel? They answered, have the ark of the God of Israel moved to Gath. So they moved the ark of the God of Israel. Verse 9. But after they had moved it, the Lord's hand was against that city, throwing it into a great panic. He afflicted the people of the city, both young and old, with an outbreak of tumors. So they sent the ark of God to Ekron. As the ark of God was entering Ekron, the people of Ekron cried out, they have brought the ark of the God of Israel around to us to kill us and our people. So they called together all the rulers of the Philistines and said, send the ark of God of Israel away. Let it go back to its own place, or it will kill us and our people. For death had filled the city with panic. God's hand was very heavy on it. Those who did not die were afflicted with tumors, and the outcry of the city went up to heaven. Right? So God's he's laying it out right now. He's letting people know hey, listen up, right? Like, you don't mess with the Israelites' God, right? Now, Dagon, their statue, whatever, that thing doesn't do anything, right? But the one true God, he makes stuff happen, right? You don't want to mess with him. All right, my battery's about to die. Anyway, love you guys.